This is Ranger Kidwell Ross, editor of WorldSweeper.com and the director of the World Sweeping Association. The WSA and World Sweeper Award of Excellence in Power Sweeping for 2022 is about to be awarded to the recipient, who doesn't know that's why I'm scheduling a Zoom call with him, Bruce Christianson and Pro Sweep Incorporated. They are located in West Fargo, North Dakota. They're in one of the most challenging environments that anyone sweeps in America. They are a company that has to do a lot of driving, a lot of window time, and yet they have been extremely successful, not only in growth, but in their safety track record. And it's really for that reason that we have made them our Award of Excellence winner this year, in an effort to emphasize the importance of safety to the power sweeping industry. And I haven't been able to have this Zoom meeting with Bruce for the last couple of days because he has been in a DOT safety meeting, getting the latest. So that's that. And with that, I'm going to admit Bruce Christianson, who is just knocking on the Zoom door. So this is Bruce Christianson from ProSweep Inc. He founded the company in 2000. He sold it in 2010, but stayed on as manager. That sounds like a good deal if you can get it, to me. And because of your expansion, now you started, as I recall, with a tenant sweeper and a pickup truck and an account or something like that. And started then in parking lot sweeping, but you have expanded way past probably your expectations even, but you do a lot of DOT and so forth now. So Bruce, yeah, if you would be so kind to give us an overview of your expansion, what's happened since 2000 when you started the company, and where you are today.
Well, Ranger Pro Sweep, as you said, started in 2000 in a small town, Wapita, North Dakota. In 2000, fast forward to 2010, we were fortunate enough to be purchased by another company, and they allowed me to stay on as operations manager, very hands-off, and it works well. As you said, we started with one tenant, and today we run 12 machines, 24 hours a day. And we're out sweeping now. The day guys sweep about 60 cities, and the parking lot guys, my PM guys, we do about 4,000 parking lots at night in 10 months. So we've grown,
I guess. And you're in, as I've said, in one of the harshest environments out there to deal with sweeping too, and you have a lot of windshield time as well.
Well, being in Fargo, or West Fargo, North Dakota right now is where we built a shop, and we've expanded. We cover North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota right here in the corner. So yes, we tend to put on a lot of miles, and that too is problematic because we have to enforce DOT rules and drivers and all the stuff that goes with that, because we do have class A, B, C, and D drivers. So there's different information for each one.
And in each of those states, you also need to, comply with a variety of regulations, reporting, and so forth. That'd be difficult.
The class A's and B's, you have to report miles for fuel. So we use a tracking device, and which covers a lot of the miles per state. So it's made life easier instead of handwritten notes alongside when they cross state lines and log books. It's all been a lot easier in the last few years, but it's going to get a little bit crazier as the summers go on.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think it all gets crazier in the summer for some reason. I'm not quite sure of that. Although the wintertime would have to be very difficult for you. Would you be so kind as to go through one of the things that's very impressive about your operation that you manage is its safety record. How do you achieve a safety record that is essentially flawless? And correct me if I'm wrong with that, but that's how I understand it.
In 2000 when we started until today in North Dakota, we have had 0 accidents, 0 faults, no twisted ankles, no back injuries that have lost days to work. Minnesota is another state. We've had 0 accidents, 0 problems until unfortunately last February, we had a head-on crash on a way to a job where unfortunately the young lady decided it was time to be over and smashed into one of our sweepers, totaled both units, and unfortunately she was DOA on site. However, the gentleman operator lost no time of work, although that's doesn't bode well with our safety, but it's still.
Yeah.
But as far as the safety features, Ranger, since we've had that terrible accident, which was February 25th last year, we've installed cameras.
And to be clear, Bruce, that was determined to be somebody who was basically committing suicide via a large vehicle.
Unfortunately, yes, that's what the highway patrol said. And it was just terrible. But if you don't have your, your insurance and all your DOT and all your paperwork in a row, you'll find out very fast that you have to have that in, because able to stay out of the hospital. In South Dakota, we've had 0 accidents, 0 injuries in 20 years. So how do we do it? We've had some of the same operators. Greg has been here for 19 years. I got some 10s and some 5s. Most of the night guys are 5 and 7s and 3s. And if we do get a young man in that wants to try the nighttime stuff, it's quite a safety learning for them to pair up with another guy for a few weeks and follow some of the stuff. So as I put it to my guys, even when we work in the shop for 3 months in the wintertime, football players wear helmets for safety. So put your safety goggles on when you're grinding or welding, and it's kind of stuck. It makes sense. So.
And you've received some awards along those lines, as I recall. You showed me before we got started, you showed me a certificate that was in a frame that you said you had received. What is that from?
In 2015, we joined the Associated General Contractors of North Dakota. So this is from 2021. We've had 0 incidents, 0 lost work days.
And hold that up kind of just in front of your face, and you'll see. Okay.
So we've had 0 lost days associated with what we do since 2017. I think they started Plaques, and all that goes back to filling out your 300 OSHA 300A form, which is something, if you're not doing it, you should, because if and when you do have a terrible accident like we had, you will be glad you had the OSHA stuff figured out. So the OSHA 300A form is just a way to keep track of your hours of labor, something you have to post on site to show your employees. So it just gives you how many hours your employees worked, how many total employees, labor, how many accidents, if any, but this has to be posted on site.
And my guess is you've complied with all of that and more. Well,
we use a lot of insurance safety features because you have an insurance company that's insuring you. They have safety directors, just as you have the toolbox kits that come out with your newsletters. We use that a lot. You have to look at your total insurance package, because in North Dakota, we have workers' comp, just like everybody else. And if you have a good OSHA record, you have very few, if any, injuries like we have, you're going to get an excellent rating on your workers' comp, maybe even a negative number, which makes insurance look very well. And we've gone to the point where our guys know what's going on. They respect it. We've had this good record for a number of years. So we take them to safety defense driving classes. We take them to various insurance forms so they can do some defensive driving, talk about more training. It's just something you have to keep talking about, whether it's summertime or wintertime.
We were talking about the idea, you said you have 6 a.m. Safety meetings, that they're casual, but one of the things that happens is you really encourage people to bring in any close calls, anything they can think of that was nearly a safety issue, so it can be shared with everyone, and that's huge.
You know, you can give them all the newspaper or paper articles you want, or plaques.
Yeah.
And if you can't get them to talk, it's just kind of worthless. So we sit down and we have our early morning, sessions, or the night guys may call and we'll talk. And because my crew is good enough that I don't have to quote unquote babysit them. So I'm appreciative for that. But then again, they know that they can call me 24/7. They do, which is good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have to have that continuous conduit, and you hope they don't call, but if they do, you're glad they did. It's a kind of a conundrum in that regard. Well, I certainly get that, but there are a few companies that have taken it to the level that you have, and for that reason, Bruce, I want to tell you that we've chosen ProSweep Incorporated as our recipient for the Award of Excellence in Power Sweeping for the United States of America for 2022. We feel like you're an excellent recipient for that and an excellent choice, and I couldn't be happier to be able to have this forum to let you know that today.
Well, it's a great honor.
So that's essentially why I wanted to have the interview today, and to have it be a Zoomcast so that we could show that image on the screen, and you'll have a plaque that is being made now that'll be shipped directly to you. Normally, this is given out at the National Pavement Expo, but for a variety of circumstances, I wasn't there this year, pandemic related. You weren't there. And so this seemed like the way to go with it. So,
well, it's not just me, it's everybody that's worked at ProSweep, and they're the ones that are out there each and every day. I'm just kind of like the coach and kind of their the guy that keeps telling them to put their eyeglasses on and put their Bluetooth on and their headset. And so hopefully this will make a big difference in the young guys that come on board.
well, I hope so, and unless there's something else that we should cover, we can call that a day, since this is really an award presentation and ceremony remotely. And thank you very much for what you do. You really lead the vanguard of safety in the United States with a record like that, and I felt like that was something I want to emphasize, having been an expert witness with several terrible sweeper accidents. I know how difficult it is to stay safe, and thanks for all that you do.
Well, we thank you. We're trying to do one parking lot at a time, one city at a time, and it's just one thing we have to do. We got started last week, Ranger. The guys are out doing their stuff, and the night guys are doing their thing. So this will be a great trophy to put on the wall of the employees' toolbox. Thank you so much, Ranger.
You bet. Glad to do it.